You posted on Facebook, I'm working on something big. Can you talk about it?
Well,
Could you drop a hint?
it's kind of scary to talk about.
Missouri musicians, then and now.
Grizz Lee is on the
Hey,
line. What's up?
hey, what's up, man? Not much. I'm excited for the interview too. I appreciate everyone for listening. What's up, everyone?
You are from Chillicothe, is that correct originally?
Yes, I am. Best thing from there since sliced bread, man.
Where are you now?
I stay outside of Topeka,
Okay, all
but
right.
I really like. I try to say that I'm based out of Kansas City because it makes me seem more available, and I'll get to any kind of opportunity that comes my way. I just try to get to it. If I can make it happen, I will.
Yeah, I noticed that you've got a lot of gigs around each side of Kansas City, the Kansas and Missouri side.
Yep, I try to. I'm from there, and I obviously have support there. And then the younger generations are more fans of me than like people I grew up with. So it seems I grow there just as much as anywhere else, just because it's where I was from. Kids hear the song, and then they go, "Oh, he went to this school," and then things happen like that. So I just try to entertain that. And then I have a lot of listeners in Kansas City, but honestly, it's hard to pull those listeners from, you know, Spotify and iTunes and get them to your social media pages and get them listening to you. So I just try to go everywhere and blow people's minds, and usually at the end of the show, people come to me and they say I just have this energy. I actually just saw this thing last night where they're talking about some people, just the energy they have changes the molecules in the room. It gives everyone a better feeling. And when I perform, I pretty much black out. And when I'm done, people tell me, like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. So I figure I just need to be as consistent as possible. COVID set me back, but now I'm just going to do as many shows as possible. So if you're listening to this and you want to take a chance, no one has to pay a deposit the first time they book me, but I promise you'll want to afterwards.
Let me ask you about your first gig that you remember.
My first gig that I remember. See, okay, so I was actually I was involved with this hardcore band from Missouri called The Catalyst, and they actually got, pretty recognized and did some pretty big things and played shows with like Tech Nine and big metal bands, and we're kind of in that scene. And I kind of just palled around with them, and my home life wasn't great, so I would hang out with this band, and I would just go to shows like all over the Midwest. And I wanted to start my own band, so I tried to do that. But like from them, I learned it, and from myself, I learned like just you cannot rely on people, and it's not their fault. It's not necessarily like, oh, like people just don't. It's people have lives and their priorities are all different. And
Right.
I wanted to practice every day, and for me, practice was like the funnest time in the world. But it got to be where I was like, the Grinch of the band, because I was like, yo, practice today, and they're like, oh, I don't want. I was like, no, dude, we need to practice. So
I gotta hang out
I,
with my girl.
yeah, stuff like that. And I found the FL Studio thanks to this my homie John, Fruity Loops, some people call it. And instantly I was in love with it, and I'd make little like metal breakdowns out of like 8-bit sounds. And I was like, man, if I had some different sounds, I think I could make something pretty dope. And then made some music. And so I got off track there, but I originally did a few shows with the metal band. And like I said, that fizzled out. But as Grizz Lee, I think my first show around home, first show period, I guess, would have been at this it was at the band, The Catalyst. They had like a house, and they had like this stage behind it, and it's out by a pond, and it's just this big plot of land, and they had like this little festival thing, and I performed there. And it's always the same. It hasn't changed since the first. Like, people look at me like a joke. Like, beforehand, there's nothing I can do, because the more serious I take myself, the more of a joke I look like, because people are like, oh, who is this guy? Before I perform, anyway.
I want to
And
get into
then,
that in a little bit.
yeah, and then the more I relax, it's like the more funny and goofy I am. It's like, oh, that guy's a goofball. Like, he can't be taken this seriously if he's that nice or that. So it's a really hard line to walk, and I've started to learn who I am, and I know who I am, and I know what I want to do. So it's getting easier to just be like, look, something I've started to live by is yin and yang. 50% of the people in the world will like you. 50% of the people in the world will not, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if someone just inherently doesn't like you, don't worry about them. Go to the person who does like you. There's 7 billion people in the world, so
Right.
split that in half. That you 3.5 billion people are gonna like you for no other reason than that's the way the numbers fall.
Man, I'm gonna pivot to this. I was gonna get to something else, but before we got started, I was on your social media and I was watching the T-Pain video that you posted,
Yeah.
and I don't know who the other guy was, but their criticism or whatever of your "Cold to Me" video,
Yeah. Yep.
and it was like all the comedy rap or comedy music or whatever they were calling it, and like I
Before they
totally,
even listened to the song, yeah.
yeah,
They were saying that they paused the video before you knew what genre, anything. They saw my face, they paused it, they said, I don't like comedy rap. This guy gives me Little Dicky vibes. And to
oh,
me, that's just as biased as any other form of bias is to look at someone and decide for yourself, like, oh, this person looks like this. But people have it worse, and that's no big deal. But like, music is subjective. If you don't like someone's music and you've never listened to it, then you don't dislike their music. Like, continue with what you're saying.
I was pretty shocked by it too. I've been listening to a lot of your stuff since we agreed that we were gonna chat, and the genre, like you say, pop/hip hop. Would you say "Cold to Me" is more of a pop song?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's absolutely a pop song. I don't rap in it whatsoever. I guess the only thing that ties it to hip hop is that I used an 808 instead of a bass guitar because I felt like it gave the song more energy. I don't know, I dug the sound.
Right. Do you think that was the proper video to submit to something like that?
You see, I didn't, it was my newest. I don't have faith in anything old. I continue to push it because I realize it's new to everyone who hasn't heard it. And also, I don't ever pander. I don't ever sit down. I have arguments with, people who are close to me or people who are associated with my music, and they say, you should make this type of song. You should make this type of song. I don't ever sit down and go, oh, I'm going to make this type of song. If I did, that feels cheap. That feels
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as deciding like, oh, I want to paint a picture of an orange and then painting it, even though some artists may see it the same way. I just can't. When I sit down, I start with usually a piano or a synthesizer, and I just start playing chords and goofing off until I play something that hits my ear. And it hits my ear, I like it, I record it, I move on to the next instrument, and then I move on to some percussion. I may move here and there, but it comes out. That is all just like a natural occurrence of like energy. And most of the songs I would do like that. Now it's become more of a process because I care a little bit more about what I'm writing,
It's
but
about
I can't.
feeling.
I can't pander. So I didn't care about pandering to him. I do want everyone to know, like, at the end of the video, he said it was dope, and he said he liked my music, and he just said it wasn't his style. So possibly I should have sent something else, but I did submit 2 other songs to him, and he skipped them immediately. Like, he just wasn't having it.
Dang it.
So, yeah. So, like, and that was after. So, like, the first thing I sent him was my pop thing, and it was my best reaction. They both said they liked it. They said it just wasn't it. But at the end of the day, he's T-Pain, and I didn't make that video. He's like, you didn't make this video thinking, oh, T-Pain's gonna see this and put me on. If I was thinking that, he said the video probably would have been a lot different. The song probably would have been a lot different if you were thinking that. And he's
True.
exactly right. And I was like, yeah, true. And he named some names. He said, reach out to Dylan Francis, reach out to Young Gravy, reach out to like people who make fun music.
I got you.
Because T-Pain is kind of a hype, bump and grind type. Like, people, they like, it's a different mood. It's a sexy mood with T-Pain. You know what I mean? There's like, it's a lot of energy, power, and like, I feel like it just has its niche to where I haven't really been able to blossom and see what people think about me. And I'm just saying this to be transparent to any artist or anything out there listening. If you're doing it because you love it, then like that's the goal. Send me your music. Send me what you're doing. I want to hear that. What I
Right.
don't want to hear is the people telling me, their music is fire and it's so bomb and they're definitely going to blow up. Music's subjective. I'm doing everything I can and I'm being honest with people. So when something does happen for me, you'll see how authentic it is and that it's not all smoke and mirrors. People from small towns, people from, poor families can do big things. It's not all a name game. All that is an excuse. Don't listen to your parents or your grandparents if that's what they say. If you believe in yourself and you do it every day, something is going to happen. I saw an interview once where Juicy J said the only people who didn't make it from his hood were the people who quit. Everyone else made it. Everyone who didn't quit, made it.
Dude,
I just
that's
can't
awesome.
quit. I'll never quit.
Man, you
With me,
covered a lot there. Like, Grizz, there's a lot to say about being transparent and making what you want to make musically. Everyone I've been talking to, they all have the same discussion with me. They're like, I want to play and create what I want to. I don't want to make what people tell me is going to make me successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people who tell you this don't have any credentials. So who are they to tell me that a verse in a video with Riff Raff isn't a bachelor's degree? And then a song with Chanel West Coast isn't me halfway through my master's. And then my new music video, which has one of the biggest YouTubers, best friend, which I know puts it off a little bit, but Ilya Fedorovic, he just launched his fitness brand. He's a huge influencer, over 700K followers on
Wow.
Instagram. He just got over 1 million views on his YouTube channel. He just started for his fitness channel. He's David Dobrik's best friend. He was in my new music video. So who's to say that these people I'm meeting in these videos and this cool art that I'm making, they are accomplishments. And I only compare them to those because those are the posts that I see on Facebook and stuff that get so much love, compared to what I don't get, which I shouldn't compare, but it's hard not to look at something and say, well, that's really dope and that took a lot of perseverance and work, but I just feel at the same time so did what I'm doing. Rap is seen as such a thing and that's what genre that song was. So yeah, or just how far you are in your career. You can't really, people say that fake it till you make it stuff, but there's no point to that. There's not an inner feeling from your heart that warms. So I just feel like no matter what you do, it doesn't matter who you get a song with. You gotta keep going and be consistent. When I got the Riff Raff thing, a few people said, "Oh my gosh, this guy's really doing it." The rest of them said, "Ha, fluke."
Man, I don't
And then I
get
did a
that.
song with Chanel West Coast, and people talk crap and all that, but she's a celebrity, and I legitimately heard a song, and I said out loud, I want to get Chanel West Coast on a song. I said to myself, that couldn't be that hard. And you know what? I made her 2 beats and wrote 2 hooks for her, and she did that feature, and I didn't pay a dime. She hooked me up. He
Right.
and Ilya hooked me up. I didn't pay him a dime to be in the video. I sent him the song on Instagram, and I said, hey, man, I saw you played the drums in your most recent vlog. Would you like to play the drums in this music video? And he said, heck yeah, send me the full song. So I sent him the full song, and he did the video. And it's just, the more work you do, the more accomplishments you have, the more serious you look. It's not just going to pop. It's not going to happen overnight, but people are starting to hear me out and listen to my business propositions. And I talk about bringing artists. At one point, I will make hundreds of thousands of dollars just bringing artists, because these people with money who want quick returns don't realize that if you bring a big artist for $50,000 that's going to sell out a venue that holds 4,000 people, at $50 a ticket plus VIP tickets, you're flipping your money in one night.
Right.
I know it's not that simple, but I do have a plan on how to fund myself and how to get there, but I'm not going to sacrifice my art to just make money. And so until I have the extra, I just went to do storm cleanup for 4 months and worked 7 days a week, 12-hour days, and I never work. I always do music, but I was like, I need to take this risk. I went down and made $24,000, and I put all of that into my music video and pushing it afterwards. And You can't really tell because it doesn't have hundreds of thousands of views, but
Oh, come on.
marketing is hard, dude. Marketing is hard and it takes time. And that's not to say that it won't blow up eventually.
I gotta tell you, like, I'm a little unfamiliar with the hip hop scene and stuff, but when I got the email that you wanted to come on the show, and I like started checking out your social media stuff, I was impressed, man. Like, I mean, who am I? But like, I was impressed. I'm like, this guy's got over 4,000 followers on Facebook, 700 plus YouTube subscribers, and 37 videos, and like professional music videos, and then I saw like some of the people that you've been collaborating with, and I was like, this is great, you know. And it's good to talk to somebody that's like a little bit out of my personal comfort zone and like what I'm familiar with. Like, this is a whole different side to the musical conversation that we're having on this podcast. So I really
And I
appreciate you
appreciate
calling
that,
in.
man. Like, it's crazy that, one thing doesn't do it, but just like I was just like, I do my own artwork too. So like that picture of me, I took the picture, the yellow background is my studio wall. I did the editing on the picture. I just recently put that on everything, and I went around my city, and I'm going to go around Kansas City as well and put all these QR code flyers I have in all the windows. And I'm just, right now is the time to like push, you know what I mean? Like you said, I think that when people look at my page now, I think that you would have to go, oh, who is this guy? And that's all I want. But I think that when people look at my profile or come across me, they might go, who is this guy? And that I think that's the mission. And I just need to get a million people to do that, and then they'll have a career.
Yeah.
And out of those million, probably 10,000 of them will buy merch. People think that that's how all that stuff works, but there's a reason that these artists that you think are huge are doing, cross country tours every year. They need the money. They have to make money. A lot of people live above their means too, which I'm gonna buy some crazy stupid stuff someday.
But not now.
I cannot live above my means. I do now, obviously, because I buy like studio equipment and stuff that I really can't afford, and I know I should pay other stuff, but I'm just trying to make this happen.
You're
I don't know.
investing in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't really have I got my girlfriend, and she is amazing, and she supports me, and it's amazing to have her.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a minute to tell you about Buzzsprout. Following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and it gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and it helps support our show. Starting a podcast can be intimidating. With Buzzsprout, it was easier than I thought to get started. They've been very helpful with their guides and their consistent email communication, and having the tools at hand to make sure the podcast is easy to list on all major platforms has been incredibly helpful. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. You'll get a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, tools to promote your episodes, and more. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners. The team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world.
One thing I just want people to know, and I just want to stress, is I'm just a real person, I'm grounded. I don't think that life is some magical thing, and I don't think that I'm better than anyone else, and I will never think that I am. I just really love making music, and I think if you listen, that's one thing that has to be apparent. It's like I want to make that stuff. That's what I wanted to do, and it's no different than if Katy Perry made a song in her studio and flew out to LA and did the music video for it. That's exactly what I did. I flew out to LA, hired some professionals, shot a music video. It felt really good to do what I love and feel like I was doing it for a living.
Absolutely.
Even if it was for 7 days.
Yeah. It's interesting. You've kind of taught me in this conversation that like sometimes things on this hip hop pop side may not be like they appear. You're hustling, you're trying, you're doing everything you can to make this work for you. And on the outside, like, some people watch these videos and stuff, and they just think that this guy's made.
Yeah, I think that might be the problem is people have more of a confrontational view of me than like an open one. Like they see that I'm doing it and it's almost like a mockery that it's so good, and they go look at my profile and they don't want to like jump on the bandwagon, or they don't it's I don't know what people, because like obviously the comment I get the most from the most people, I'm not saying this, like I'm not making this up, I have no reason to make anything up, doesn't do any good for me, but they say, man, you are definitely going to blow up, how are you not bigger? And I don't know, I'm trying, and it's growing every day.
Yeah, it takes time, I think. And I think you're doing great stuff, and you're putting in the work. And I would just say keep doing what you're doing, and you've already been very successful. So I don't know, like, if you're encountering detractors or like negative people or something, but in my little part of central Missouri, like from Chillicothe to Kansas City to by way of Topeka, like, you're killing it, man. So kudos to you.
I appreciate that. No, I don't have any haters. I wish I did. I think I'd grow a lot more if people would just outright hate on me. Most people say that it's really like, oh, I don't really like that genre, but it's really good quality and stuff like that. I produce and mix it all myself. I make every beat I'm on. I do it all myself. So even
Right.
when someone says like, "Oh my God, dude, your voice is annoying, but that beat is really dope,"
Oh.
then I can still go, "Hey, thanks, man. I made that beat." Like it's still a compliment. It doesn't matter. So I think your point was like people see like the hip hop or pop scene and they think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, or like
Absolutely.
yeah. And like I think a lot of it is, but I honestly don't think there's very many pop artists out there doing what I'm doing, making the sound I'm making without any industry help, without Grammy award winning producers or this and that. But I could be wrong.
On my outline here, I have pop or hip hop? Question mark. Do you feel like you need to pick one or the other, or are you going to just continue to do both, like, however you're feeling?
I think it's gonna just depend on, like, if I hear a hip hop beat and I think of something catchy for it, I'm gonna want to record it and put it out. And I had debated about putting out my pop music under a different name or something, but at the end of the day, people are complex, artists are complex, like no one is one thing. So it just felt okay to make whatever. And when I started to make the pop music, I'm gonna remain radio friendly. Like I'm not gonna be cursing or anything like I was in my old music, because it just it's an unwanted obstacle. It does nothing for your music. People may think it's cool or whatever, but they also think a really good song is cool.
Absolutely.
So I might have edgier songs here and there, but I think I found a formula. I really like the pop stuff I'm working on. I've made like 3 hip hop songs and about 30 pop songs. So I'm kind of pretty deep in the bank right now in the pop section.
What do you prefer?
To make?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely the pop. Hip hop beats are the same thing, and it just gets so tiring. And obviously, like as a producer, the way to make it less monotonous is to do different things. But hip hop is like, it's like if it has an 808 and a hi-hat and a snare, like I'm already tired of listening to it. So it just takes something new or a new way of doing things. And I start making tons of beats that I just like exit out of the program and don't save because I'm not feeling it. But a lot of those are hip hop because I'm like, man, this really sounds generic. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it's a phase that's going out though. This vintage retro stuff that's going on, and I'm not even kidding you. Like, so before Post Malone or Lil Yachty or this bright music that came out, like that's what I was doing. I was doing like my own thing, And then, I progressed and music progressed, and then I wanted to do like vintage pop, but like with like a newer sound. And I have beats as far back as like 2017 like that. And I know there was some stuff like that, but now you got like Dua Lipa doing it and Miley Cyrus, and I just feel like I can feel these waves coming. And
Yeah.
that sounds super pretentious or whatever, but I don't know. I really feel like I can like feel the waves of music coming. I really feel like right now, so I'm not running my mouth. I feel like that Owl City type of instrumental is definitely going to make a big comeback.
You heard it
But
here first,
but
people.
yeah, but we'll see. But I just can really feel it. The technology in music is changing, and more people are creating music, and a different sound is popping off every day. And some of me wonders if like acoustic rock from the 90s will make a little return, but
I
I don't
hope
know.
so, personally.
You hope so?
Yeah.
I love like Sugar Ray, and that's not technically acoustic pop, but they always had those acoustic riffs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
No, yeah, I agree. You're right. It's hard too, man, because a lot of this is on it's on the internet. Like I've had conversations with other people and they talk about how you literally can do everything from your house.
and that can be a crutch for some people, but some people take advantage of it. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that was a big crutch of mine because I was not getting out and doing shows like I should have really before the pandemic. Because like I think that like the profile might be impressive and stuff, but you have to get them there. So the best way is to impress them right in front of their face, and then when they go look, they're like, "Dang, this guy's really like this. All looks pretty professional." And
Yes.
that's so I should have been doing that a long time ago. But the internet makes you think that like, oh, I should just focus on videos and trying to do this or that. But one thing I've never done is like, I'm not gonna make some silly video about something random to go viral. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I always use this as an example, like get butt naked, paint myself yellow, and carry a Grizz Lee flag, and like have someone record me and run through like a Walmart, in a G-string, and like that video would go viral. Like I'm sorry, it would. Like
Yeah, you don't want to jump on all
it's
the
just,
trends and stuff.
you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just that's ridiculous. Like I would never want to do that. I want to grow because people listen to my music. They go, dang, this is pretty good. Like, who produces beats? Oh, he does. Who mixes this? Oh, he does. Who?
That's right.
That's crazy. People always hate on artists or say they don't deserve it or whatever. But anytime I see someone make it who I feel like maybe I work a little harder than, or like, oh, they don't even make their beats or nothing. They just go in and freestyle. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I'm saying, wow, if they did it, then I can definitely do it. Like, look how much work I'm doing. If I continue to do this,
Yeah, it's motivating, inspiring.
people say that there are all kinds of talented people that never made it anywhere. Well, but no, there weren't. There were a bunch of quitters. That might have had talent, but they were quitters.
Or they never got started.
Yeah. The best thing I can do is fill my day with, doing my own art, making my own music, booking my own shows, and the stuff that isn't working, I'll change, and the stuff that is working, I'll keep up, and eventually I'll have a daily formula for success.
There you go. How does an independent artist, someone who like does most of the work themselves like you, like how do you get connected with some of these people that you collaborated with?
Well, like the Riff Raff thing was just like Instagram, went to his, he has a little thing that says email, and I just emailed how much it would be. But I did say, like, please listen to the song, get my own. I really feel like it could be something, so please let me know. And that was really dope, and I got that feature. As for Chanel West Coast, I was able to figure out her email address, and then I contacted her through that. And I contacted her probably for about 3 months before she hit me back, and I was just sending the Riff Raff video and saying like, "Hey, I did this video with Riff Raff. Like, I made the beat. Like, maybe you want some beats." And eventually, she said the beat was fire and that she wanted me to send her beats. And I worked up the relationship like that, and then did a song with her. Then, like I said, Ilya, I just messaged him on Instagram, and he hit me up. So these are just people who I think inquire about what I do, and it's kind of ridiculous to think about, like for some artists, but I feel like I'm in a position where I could rub an artist the wrong way and screw up potentially like ever working with them. Maybe that's too far out, but these people do take notice or like read my messages more and more. So it's getting to a point where it's obvious that whether it's good or whatever, the amount of effort is there. Like
Yeah.
it's just me, and honestly, I could do a million times better. I need to make more content. I need to make TikToks every day and all that stuff. But obviously, I like making the music. I like making the beats and stuff. So that's where I spend a lot of the time. I should be more disciplined, I think.
I think we all can be more disciplined. So it's just as simple as somebody reaching out to these people through the internet and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, just
That's awesome.
just tell them what I got, what I've done. Very short though. Like these people, if you're lucky enough for them to look on it, you want them to be able to understand the sentence by looking at it once. If it's a book, they're not going to read it. So I would just send like little emails like, "Hey, this is my video with Riff Raff. I made the beat. I make beats. Let me know." And eventually she got back, and saw one of those emails, and it's possible she never even saw any of the ones until that one. Or maybe she ignored every single one of them until she did listen and thought it was dope. But it doesn't take magic or connections, or you have to build your own connections, and you can do that all kinds of different ways.
That's valuable advice, man. I hope that people, when they're done listening to this, I hope they remember that. Because, like, somebody like me, could I talk to some of these people? Could I have them on the other end of the phone? Apparently I could if I just reached out. You just never know. You posted on Facebook, "I'm working on something big." Can you talk about it?
Well,
could you drop a hint?
It's kind of scary to talk about because, like, if anything happens, then it's like
it could be a surprise.
At the very least, I have a show that I'm booking in LA, so that'll be cool.
All right, we can leave it at that.
At the very least, there's a lot of stuff involved in that, and I don't want to screw anything up for myself or.
Okay.
But that should be cool.
That's exciting, man.
Yeah, I have some friends in LA that are pretty connected and stuff too. So they've all said that like they would come out or share it on Instagram or whatever. So I think it could be a good turnout either way. So
that kind of leads to my next question. Who are some artists that you'd like to work with?
I would really like to work with, like, I guess number one would be Miley Cyrus. That would be crazy. Shoot, I want to do a song with Scotty Sire. He's from David's Vlogs too, but he's a pretty established musician. He gets millions of streams and stuff like that. So go check out Scotty Sire's music. And let's see. I don't know. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, number one overall, like, so my main inspiration to basically start rap in the first place was 2 Chainz, because I just loved his energy and I loved his delivery. So I definitely want to do a song with 2 Chainz someday. So Miley Cyrus, Scotty Sire, and 2 Chainz.
There you go.
That'd be cool. That would be an accomplishment. And then, like, to work with someone like, and Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates. Maybe Hall and Oates. That would be crazy to work with them. And
well, hey, Grizz, we're to the point where I need you to drop all of your social media information.
All right, for sure. Is there, like, going to be a link to this interface? Because I have a Linktree link.
Oh, yeah.
But if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's @It's Grizz Lee. And that's ITSGRIZZLEE. Follow Grizz Lee on YouTube. You can find it by typing in "Cold to Me" by Grizz Lee. When you see the official music video, that's my profile. Go ahead and, subscribe on there. My subscribers have shot up actually recently, and they seem to be consistently growing by 5 or 10, a week. And for me, that's pretty crazy. It must mean people are sharing the stuff. Also, I'm on SoundCloud and Spotify and everything else. So if you just type in Grizz Lee, that's 2 words, Grizz space Lee. You'll find me on just about anything. I'm on Facebook, and I do lives. I talk to people. You can hit me up in my inbox. Let me know what you're going through. Generally, I have pretty good advice, and I'll help people out. Not financially. I don't make any money. But I'm always there for advice. Young artists, people aspiring to do big things, hit me up. And you never know, like, if my dream comes true and I believe in someone else's dream, then I hope to be able to make their dreams come true. So that's not some sort of ploy to be like, oh, everyone who follows me, I'll, make your wildest dreams come true. But everyone who supports me right now, I pretty much know, and I appreciate them at all costs. So
That's awesome, man.
So-
We all got to help each other on the way up,
yeah, for sure. It's it's kind of dog eat dog out there, but if you can find a pack, you're not going to get eaten.
Absolutely. What kind of gigs you got coming up? Anything you need to announce?
Yeah, I got I don't know when this will be out. I actually have a show on the 30th in Lawrence, but then on the 14th of May, I'll be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So that's dope. If any listeners from Fayetteville, Arkansas come out, it's going to be a good time. Then I'm opening for Haystack on the 20th in Lawrence, Kansas. And I'm opening for Haystack on the 21st in Topeka, Kansas. And then on the 28th of May, I have a show for my hometown crowd in Bramer, Missouri. So
All right.
I'm trying to pack that out. I gotta pack all these. I gotta get these Fridays booked too. But I'm trying to do shows whenever. If you guys have a little bar or anything out there and you want to book an artist, but you don't have sound and stuff, I bring my own stage, sound, everything. I've completely revamped my whole live show. I hope to do a dive bar tour, and like I said, I have the stage, the banners. After I come set up, the corner of your dive bar will look like a professional venue. So pretty good sound system too. It's a 2500 watt system. It's got a sub and everything, so it can handle up to, like, I can't remember the square footage, but it's way more than what a dive bar needs. So it'll be great.
That's awesome,
Hire
man.
me, bring me out, pay me hourly or whatever we got to do. We can do tickets, but let me know. I need to get out in front of people. And anyway, thank you guys for listening, and thank you so much for having me on this, dude. Like, I appreciate it.
This is all about artists that came from Missouri and the roots are in Missouri, and people want to know what's going on with them and how they got to where they're at. And I'm really glad I got to talk to you, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll make some big things happen so I can get me another interview.
All right. Take care, Grizz.
Like an iceberg in the ocean, you a nightmare. I was hoping I could melt your heart and make you understand. But you're a bad girl.